If you want to make more money, you got to do more. Your bonuses, you got to do more. Retention efforts, you got to do more if you want those servicing commissions. You are being asked to do more. Hey, welcome to the Insurance Buzz. I am your host, Michael Weaver. I'm flying solo today. And today I want to talk about the fact that you only have so many hours in a day. So stop doing everything and start doing what pays. That's what the episode is about today. I've got some questions that I'm going to be running by you. So this is going to be a working episode. This is one where I want you to really stop, listen, and think about what I am discussing today. I truly believe this will be eye-opening for you. I know this will be worth your time. So with that being said, let's just go ahead and get into it. And the very first thing that I really want you to that I want to ask you. And I want you to be honest with yourself, just like I would want you to be honest with me if I were right there with you right now, coaching you and asking you this question. Not even coaching you, just having a conversation, because that's what this is on the Buzz, baby. This is just conversations. And that question is this right here. How many hours did you spend last week doing things that did not directly produce revenue or directly develop your team's ability to produce revenue? I'm going to ask that question one more time. How many hours did you spend last week doing things that did not directly produce revenue or directly develop your team's ability to produce revenue? I want you to take a second right now. Just really think about that. And if you're being honest with yourself, like most agency owners are with me, that number was probably around 20 hours at a minimum. Now, some of you might be at 10 hours. Some of you may be at 30. Some of you may be even more than that. And that's why I wanted to talk about this today. And I've got a series of questions I'm going to run by you right now. So again, this is going to be a really fantastic episode for you. No matter what role you are in, you're being asked right now in today's environment, in your career, to do more than ever. To do more than ever. Would you not agree with me? You are being asked to do more. If you want to make more money, you got to do more. Your bonuses, you got to do more. Retention efforts, you got to do more if you want those servicing commissions. You are being asked to do more. And if you don't do more, I don't know if you're going to be able to pay the bills. I mean, that's just the matter of the fact. So let's just get into this right now, because at the end of the day, you only have 24 hours in a day. So realistically, most of you are going to have a 8 to 12 hour workday. Some of you may be pushing 15 hours. The select few of you might be pushing 18 to 20 hour workdays. But at the end of the day, you can work 24 hours a day, but that is all you have. And if you are doing things that are not directly going to produce revenue or do something with the team to produce revenue, what are you doing? So the question one, I've got 10 questions I'm going to run by you. Question one, how often do your sales agents, your CSRs, your inside sales team, anybody in your office that is responsible for an income producing conversation, how often are they role playing each week? How often are they actually role playing each week? Not watching role plays, actually role playing. Actually performing the conversation to get better. How often do your sales agents, CSRs, inside sales team role play each week? Now, it may be rarely or never. That is the most common answer I get from agents and managers. They're supposed to. I don't know. Maybe one day a week. I'll tell you the most common answer I get here is never. They don't. So this is not about shame. This is not about judgment. This is about being honest with yourself. Is it a calendar issue? Is it an integrity issue? Maybe it's on the calendar, but they're just not doing it. Maybe it's an accountability issue. All right, question 2. How many minutes per week does each agent actually speak during practice? Question number 2, how many minutes per week does each agent actually speak during practice? So this is building on top of the role play question. This is building on top of question number 1. So if they never role play, then they never practice. They never ever. 0 minutes. Are they actually speaking out loud, practicing what they're supposed to say? And the target I like to use, just so you all are aware, I think you can do a lot with 5 to 10 minutes of practice a day. So you're looking at anywhere between 25 and 50 minutes of practice a week. Ultimately, 1 conversation a day. If you can just practice out loud 1 sales conversation a day before you get on the phone with customers, that is going to make the world of difference. But again, the question, how many minutes per week does each agent actually speak during practice? I'm not a fan of practicing, me personally, for hours and hours and hours a day. I think 1 practice session a day, every single day, consistently, is going to add up because repetition enhances learning. You're getting the reps in. It's the same reason why Kobe Bryant showed up at practice every day at 4 a.m. to shoot free throws before everybody else got to the gym. Question number 3. What percentage of sales calls are recorded and reviewed? What percentage of sales calls are recorded and reviewed? Now, if you're recording them, the answer is 100% on recording. But how many of those are actually getting reviewed? Now, it doesn't mean that you have to listen to a whole call. Maybe you're flagging the last 2 minutes of a call to make sure that they're actually asking for the sell. Maybe you're spot checking random portions of the call. Maybe you are downloading the transcript. Maybe you're using some type of technology to do like a surface level overview. What percentage of sales calls are being recorded and reviewed? Question number 4. How do you verify agents are following the exact talk tracks, talk paths, scripts that you want them to follow? How do you currently verify that your sales agents, CSRs, or inside sales team are having the conversations you want them and expect them to have? Because if you're like most agency owners, I know you've given them the script, you've practiced with them, you trained them, but what happens on the call? They do their own thing. They don't follow the script. They don't follow the talk path. They don't follow the whatever you want to call it. They don't ask the questions. They don't try to overcome the objection. They don't ask for the sell. They don't build the rapport. Not that they miss the whole thing, and they don't do it purposely or intentionally either, by the way. No one is intentionally or purposely, I shouldn't say no one, but very few people are going to intentionally disobey or not do what they're supposed to do on purpose. They do it because they're not confident with it. Or I should say they don't do it because they're not confident with it. But you don't know that unless you're actually recording calls, you're going through calls. So how are you verifying that they're actually doing what they're supposed to do? Question number 5. How quickly does coaching feedback happen after a call? Now, this is an important one that I want you to consider. So even if you are reviewing calls, even if you are spot checking calls, even if you're listening in on calls, how quickly does the coaching feedback actually happen? We're talking about speed of feedback here. How quickly does the coaching feedback happen? Now, this is a huge one. Is it right after the call? Is it in the weekly one-on-one a couple days later? Is it at the monthly review at the end of the call or at the end of the month? How quickly does the feedback happen? And the gold standard I would expect on this one is 24 hours. If you're spot checking calls, and this is both good and constructive feedback, it's just not bad, it's just not constructive, it's also good. But it's a quick little 5-minute coaching. Like, hey, this is what I just reviewed 3 of your calls. Or I just reviewed 1 of your calls. Here's what you did well. Here's what you could have improved on. Great job again. You also did this well in the conversation. It's a coaching critique sandwich. Good, constructive criticism, good. But it needs to be fast. It needs to be in a way, and at least in my opinion and experience, that they still remember the conversation. If you're giving feedback on a conversation that's a week later, a month later, the likelihood that they fix that moving forward is very unlikely because they don't remember. They don't even remember what you're talking about. Question 6 here. Question 6. When an agent misses something on a call, how clear is the feedback? This is even more important than speed of feedback. Question 6. When an agent misses something on a call, how clear is the feedback? What I mean here is how specific is your coaching? If you're joining me on Spotify or YouTube, you see me drinking my tea. I got a little fire in my throat today. So that's why I'm pausing a little bit in between. If you're just listening, you can't see that. But I'm drinking some tea as well. I hope you're having a good day today. Again, when an agent misses something on a call, how clear is the feedback? The feedback cannot be repetitive. In my experience, and this is where I've gotten 10 times better as a coach utilizing AI. I'm even at the point in my career where I would put an average to below average coach using AI, specifically agency coach AI, against the greatest coach that you know. And I do believe 10 out of 10 times that average to below average coach using a system like agency coach AI is going to outcoach the best coach you know. Without a doubt, 10 out of 10 times. Because they can give specific feedback. If you're anything like myself or like most managers, coaches out there, you sound like a broken record. You're giving the same feedback. Did you do this? Did you say this? Did you do this? Hey, did you try to overcome the sell here? Did you say this word track? Did you use this closing technique? You sound like a broken record in every coaching. It's generic coaching is what that is. Very generic, not specific. So, again, how clear is the feedback? Meaning, hey, at the 4-minute mark, you said this. The customer said this. This is what you should have said. That is specific feedback. Are you tired of hearing the price objection at the end of every PNC sales conversation? And you're ready to start overcoming that along with any other objection you hear? I'm going to be doing a free overcoming objections training. Make sure that you click the link below and get registered. I'm going to teach you exactly how to set up your conversation for success, eliminate objections before they come, and even those objections you do get, I'm going to be sharing the exact talk tracks on how to overcome those objections so you can start getting more customers across the finish line. I look forward to seeing you at the free training. Question 7. How do agents know what to fix before their next call? How do your sales agent, CSR, the inside sales team know what to fix before their next call? This is where the timing of coaching and specific feedback is critical. Because if they don't know exactly what to fix, what are they doing all day on every single call? They're repeating the same mistake over and over and over. And repetition works both ways. Repetition of good habits enhances learning. Repetition of bad habits also enhances learning. You're learning to do it the improper way. Call after call after call after call. So how do your agents know what to fix before their next call so that they're not repeating the same mistake in every single conversation that keeps them from closing it, that keeps them from multi-lining it, that keeps them from overcoming the objection? One improvement. That's all we're looking for here. How can you take specific feedback and improve in just one area of the conversation to where they don't make that same mistake in the next conversation? Instant improvement. Question 8, how often do the same mistakes repeat week to week? I kind of just hinted that on question number 7. So how often are the same mistakes happening in conversation from day to day, week to week, month to month? If you are anything like most coaches or managers that I work with, you say constantly. That is the hard but truthful answer. The mistakes happen in every conversation because I'm not coaching them, because I'm not giving them specific feedback. I'm not coaching them for improvement. I'm not coaching them right after the call so they don't make the same mistake. It happens constantly and consistently. That's just the cold, hard truth, and that is okay. No shame, no judgment here. That's just part of it. You've never had tools like you have available to you today. You've never had access to tools like this that can make you a more efficient and effective coach. Question 9. How confident are you on what's happening on calls when you're not listening? So let's pretend like you are listening to calls. Let's pretend like you got your little whisper feature turned on and you're listening to calls. You're actually taking time out of your day to listen to a 30 to 45 minute sales call. Woo! You don't have to do that anymore. I actually think it's wild that you are still doing that today. But that's just my opinion. For any of you who've seen The Big Lebowski, it's like your opinion, man. Like, you don't have to have the same opinion as me. But I do think that that is wild. I haven't listened to a sales call in 2 years. How confident are you in what's happening on calls when you're not listening? And lastly, question 10. If a carrier or customer reviewed your conversations tomorrow, how prepared would you feel? Let's pretend like you get an email from you know who in your carrier. They're like, yo, I'm going to call you in 2 hours. We're going to review 10 random calls from last month. How you feeling? I know how you're feeling. Whew. You just got a sick feeling in your stomach, didn't you? Nerves, maybe you broke out in a sweat. Yeah, I'm with you. You don't have to feel that way anymore. But I'm with you. So here we go. I just asked you 10 questions. And I want to give you an honest summary on what we just covered. Because I think the takeaway can get muddled if I don't land it clearly here, all right? As I opened with, you are being asked to do more than ever. More than ever. And quite frankly, commissions are getting cut. So you're being asked to do more than ever. Produce higher than ever. Multi-line more than ever. Add financial services to the equation. Hire more people. Manage more locations. Does this sound familiar? So, if you were in charge of all of that, if you're being the CEO, and you're not delegating or you're not using software tools at your disposal to be better at what you do, do you believe that you are being as effective and efficient as you can? We've all heard the phrase, buy back your time. Dan Martell, I hope he got paid a ton of money for that. His book's sitting right over there on on my desk. Buy back your time. It is easier now than ever to buy back your time. It costs you less than ever to buy back your time by utilizing software products like AI, technology. This is the worst it's ever going to be. AI is not the future. Well, AI is the future, but AI is now. Everything I covered today, these 10 questions, they really break down to 4 topics. 4 things I want you to think about here. Call practice. That's the first thing. How often is your team practicing? 2, fast and specific feedback. 3, closed feedback loops, meaning they're not making the same mistakes over and over. And 4, visibility to what's actually being said and what's actually getting done. These 4 things done consistently compound. Everything else is just noise. Everything else in the office is just noise from a coaching, management perspective. Practice. Get the reps in. Fast and specific feedback so that we close, feedback loops. And lastly, having more visibility than ever into what is actually being said and what is actually getting done. For the first time ever using products like Agency Coach AI, you have the ability to buy back your time. You have the ability to be a more efficient and effective leader. You have the ability to be a tremendous coach to where you don't have to listen to a 30-minute call, 45-minute call, hour call, 15-minute call because you don't have the time for that anyways. You go in, you take 2 minutes, you know more than if you would have listened to the call for 30 minutes and you give specific feedback and you move on about your day. You have the ability to take 15 minutes out of your day and spot check an entire team's conversation and give them exact coaching as to what happened in that call, what they needed to do to improve. Not only that, you have the ability now, or your manager in the office, we have managers now that are effectively managing 20 to 25 producers versus the 5 to 6 that you may have been able to effectively manage prior to technology. 20 to 25 because they're not listening to calls anymore. They're not role-playing with the team. They're saving 12 to 15 hours a week on average, and their role has shifted and changed to where now agencies, multiple locations, you're growing more than ever. There's more people to manage. There's more things to make sure that you're compliant, that you don't lose your agency because somebody's doing what they're not supposed to do. AI has the ability to give all of those answers to you in a snap of a finger. So again, practice, fast specific feedback, closed feedback loops, and visibility. You can do this on your own. It's just going to take you lots of time and lots of hours. So, with that being said, answer these questions honestly. AI is only going to improve from here. The world as we know it, the industry as we know it, is changing right before our eyes. Not just our industry, every industry across the country right now. Things are changing at a rapid pace. This is not to scare you. This is just defining reality. We built Agency Coach AI specifically to solve your problems, to give you more visibility into your agency than you've ever had the ability to have, to allow your managers and coaches to be more efficient and effective at what they do so that they can manage and coach more, so they can give specific feedback, so they don't have to take their time and listen to a call or role play with a team member, because their time is worth more than that. Their time is spent to be a performance coach and then to take more things off of your plate as the agency owner. And as an agency owner, you are being asked to do more than ever. And there's tools like this that can help you be more efficient and effective at what you do. So if you're interested, click the link below. Go to agencycoachai.com. Check out our demo. Book a call with the team. Just do something to help your agency be more efficient and effective, and get on the AI bandwagon, because it is not going anywhere. If anything, it is only going to speed up and become more relevant. You're seeing it everywhere. I'm seeing it everywhere. I don't even know if half the posts I see on social media, the videos anymore, are real or AI. It is wild how fast things are changing, and they're only going to, in my opinion, it's only going to happen faster. And humans, your customers, are going to crave more out of you. That is why we built Agency Coach AI, to empower you, to empower your team, to be the absolute best you can be. And there's tools like this that help you become that person. If you think a year to 2 years from now you're just going to be able to read off a script, or you hope the AI tells you what to do, you're missing the point here. Humans are only going to want to work with the best humans. We have to use AI to empower ourselves, to educate ourselves, to get better, to develop, to grow. Because that is who your customers are going to want to work with. They're going to want to work with humans, but they're going to want to work with the best humans. So make sure you click the link below. Check it out. We are growing extremely fast, and we have new developments that are rolling out every single week. We'd love to work with you and your team. Most importantly, if you're not going to use AI or not use Agency Coach AI, it is what it is. Just make sure you're focused on these 4 things. Making sure your team's actually getting in practice reps every single day, speaking and practicing out loud. Making sure that the feedback you're giving is fast and specific, so that you are closing the feedback loop so they're not repeating the same mistake call after call, week after week, month after month. And lastly, visibility into what's actually being said, and review those. Most of you have the ability to record and print the transcriptions. Make sure you're doing that, unless you're using a system like ours that does it for you. So other than that, as always, I appreciate you. Time and attention are by far our most important assets. Go out and make it great today, and I'll see you on the next episode.